Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your July intuitive tarot reading. I'm super excited to get into this and see what is on the cards for you. If you are a regular, welcome back, Gemini. Thanks for tuning in for another reading. And if you are a newbie, welcome. My name is BRONYA. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. And in just a moment, I'm going to be building you a Celtic cross here. We're going to really dig into what your message is for the month. But before we do so, I'm just going to go over these two cards here because I went back to your 2025 year ahead tarot wheel that I posted here for you on the channel late last year, and I pulled out your July energies, of which you have the Six of Swords and the Nine of Cups. Okay, so Gemini, it seems that maybe you're in transition this month. The Six of Swords can be moving on, moving away. It can be a metaphorical moving on, an emotional journey, a healing journey, or it can be like a physical, tangible moving on, moving forward, right? Relocating, traveling, changing work careers. Generally for me, the Six of Swords has this kind of message of wherever you're heading, it's better, it's calmer, it's smooth sailing, but it can also be heading into the unknown, all right? We get on our boat, in our boat we move forward and we land on new shores, all right? But you are being told that underpinning this, our clarifying energy, is the Nine of Cups. This is the earthly wish fulfillment card. So even though you might be heading into the unknown and you're unsure, how's it going to go, where am I going to end up, Spirit is saying, you know what? It's going to be very fulfilling and maybe even wishes will come true. All right, so let's just pop these to the side here. I'm going to draw you a major arcana for the signifying energy, the first card of the Celtic cross. We'll read this together and then you'll see me draw the rest of the cards, Gemini. Okay, so your major arcana, the big theme of the tarot for July 2025 is Temperance. Gorgeous. Now, this is really, in alignment with this theme because Temperance follows on from the Death card in the Major Arcana, and it's a little bit of a calm after the storm. It's the healing, it's the rebalancing, and it's the slow threading together of your new reality. So I feel that you might have navigated like a tower or an ending or some kind of big transformation, maybe, in May or April, May, June. And now in July, here we have looking towards a new field of dreams, maybe about to cross over the threshold. Now, Temperance can be about divine orchestration, divine realignment. It talks about everything coming together towards a solid new beginning. Now, that is associated with Sagittarius for me, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So you might be dealing with one, or you might have a significant Sagittarian placement in your birth chart. Okay, Gemini, let's get the rest of these cards out and then we'll pop back in and we will go over the read. Okay, so this is your Celtic cross. These are your cards. Wow. Okay, so Gemini, look at this. We have got the Ace of Cups and we have got the World in this reading. So we have this kind of sliding doors moment of endings and new beginnings seeding for you. Maybe you're in the space in between right now with that Six of Swords. You're in transition, but you are heading for the Nine of Cups. What's in the outcome? Well, we'll reveal that together. Okay, so let's jump into this. Now, what crosses you, Gemini, is the Eight of Swords, and this here can be an entrapment energy, which usually is playing out in the mind, right? It can be, well, I'm struggling to move ahead. It can be needing to see things from a different perspective. It can be the anxiety, the guilt, the worry. Now, the thing about the Eight of Swords is that there is always a way through, but sometimes we really need to turn inwards and listen to the intuition, listen to the heart. Sometimes we really need to put ourselves first because the Eight of Swords can be, when we're really extending our energy into the external environment. And of course, there are times that we need to put others in front of ourselves, with children, etc. But I'm feeling this energy of really making the move, making the decision that is best for you. So we need to overcome the mind and how it puts the limitations, the limiting beliefs on us when that energy comes into the spread. Okay, so in the past you have the King of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a Taurus energy, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and it can be associated with work, career, money, investment, finance. Sometimes it can be a partner energy as well. It really is that divine masculine energy. Now remember, we are in some kind of transition here. So maybe you are moving on, or you're in transition between significant commitments and contracts. Maybe something that you thought was going to be your solid and stable, like the tower, shook a little bit, or maybe even collapsed. Maybe it fell down so it could fall back together in a new and profound way. And I'm especially saying this since we have the Justice presence here in the minor and the major arcana here. In fact, I've just done the Libra energy. Both of these are cards of Libra, and they also had the same energy. So I thought that was really interesting because their monthly reading from the tarot wheel, the energy, were the Nine of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So if you have strong Libra in your sign, you might want to watch that one after this. So in your future energy, we have Justice. You know, we've got this energy here of the karmic scales rebalancing. There might have been what was a perceived loss, or disappointment, or having to move away, or having to move on energy. But Justice says, in the end, the karmic scales, the universal balance sheet always adds up, right? So both of these energies, like I said, they would link to commitments and contracts for me. Is that an employment contract, a housing contract, a financial agreement, a divorce separation agreement? Like, it's a general collective reading, so it might be playing out for all of you in slightly different ways. But keep that in mind. I think that's what we have. We have that true sliding doors moment between big significant events here. So in the known energy, you have the Ace of Cups. Now, this may have shown up already, or for some of you it could still be on the way, but this is your emotional new beginning. And when I say showing up, like maybe you've got a new contract in front of you, maybe you've met a new person, and maybe you are wondering, do I get in that boat and move on and move forward, right? But there is some real turbulence that you have been navigating or may navigate in order to do so. What I love about the Ace of Cups being the emotional ace in the suite of the tarot is it feels like it's heart-centered, whatever is coming your way. Whereas you're moving away from Swords energy, right? Maybe trying to will yourself to stay in a situation even though it's becoming harsh or becoming abrasive. Now you're being asked to tune into the portal of the heart. And when I look at this card, Gemini, I'll always notice how this person is bound around all of the three intuitive centers, the third eye, the heart, and the gut. So I feel like your intuition, either maybe you haven't been listening to it, or it's been blocked or stifled in some way. And if we are in a stress response or fight or flight, our intuition really does go offline. But slowly but surely, we have this energy of it opening up. A new opportunity is either presenting or will present, and you're being asked to deeply feel into whether this is right for you. And I think the encouragement is to move towards it. Now, in the unknown, the world, you may or may not be aware that you have a very big cycle closing and another significant cycle opening. We're talking 10, 20-year cycles. So if you're moving on from, say, a relationship, it could have been a really long-term live-in or de facto or marriage situation. If you're moving on from work, career, it might be bigger than just moving on from a job. You could be leaving a whole industry, or you might have had a series of jobs that were kind of same but different, but you're really seeking what fills your cup, what brings you the abundance, the pathway to progression, the emotional fulfillment that you really do desire. The other thing I love about the world being here in the unknown position is what you don't know is that you've actually passed a karmic lesson, right? You're spiritually evolving and developing. And if you did go through a tower moment or an ending that was out of your hands or felt unfair, unjust in some way, Gemini, the universe removed you from that situation because you'd spiritually outgrown it and you are being realigned to your next opportunity. So the message that's coming through is ultimately trusting in your higher divine plan for your life, all right? Now, in your advice, we've got the Queen of Swords, right? And the Queen of Swords is the Justice in the minor arcana. It's saying, hey, Gemini, get really clear on what you want for the future. because this is your opportunity to make some big decisions to transform your life towards it and balance those scales. You might be getting clarity, you might be learning truths, you might be receiving answers, and I think that that's all going to be encouragement for you to embrace the Ace of Cups. So again, it feels like commitments and contracts, new ones are coming that might actually be turning up physically, like sign on the dotted line, or a new relationship that is going exclusive, moving up to the next level. It's that kind of energy, and ultimately it is transformative for your life also. So in your external influence, we've got the Three of Swords. Yeah, I think that you have genuinely traversed some kind of loss or disappointment. For some of you, hurt, heartbreak. You might still have this energy around you. There might be others involved that are, that are feeling the hurt as well, especially if it was a relationship that might be trying to reconnect in some way, or work career. Someone might be trying to renegotiate you back into a situation. But bearing in mind with that Six of Swords, Nine of Cups, I feel that your best interest is to move to your next level, and whether or not you could do that by reconnecting in a situation, that's your free will choice to make, Gemini. But remember, with the world, you're ready for the new. You are ready to level up in some way. Now, the Three of Swords is a 3 for a reason, because from hurt and heartbreak, we create and manifest. We meet the Empress, right? She's number 3 in the major arcana. So you have an opportunity to transcend pain and hurt and really allow that to be the fuel on your fire. Now, in your hopes and fears, we've got the Two of Pentacles. So this could be fears around making the wrong decision here, entering into an unstable situation after coming from King of Pentacles, security and stability. But I ask you, Gemini, at what cost? There's also maybe, like I said, emotional turbulence indicated here by the waves that you're needing to navigate in some way. So I feel like you'll be weighing up options here, or weighing up your next move, and maybe concerned about making that wrong decision. But again, we have to come back to, there's light and shade in every situation, but this is a natural segue into your new chapter. All right, Gemini, let's see what that outcome card is, and we'll clarify it if we need to. Oh my goodness, the Four of Wands. So you know how you were worried about instability, or maybe a situation that's not sustainable for the long term? The Four of Wands is often known as the most secure card in the tarot. It's the 4 sides of the square, symbolized by the 4 wands here. It's the 1111 card. If you are seeing that number, this is absolutely your reading. But this would be, like I said, if it's a relationship, it can go the distance. It can turn into a long-term situation or a marriage. If this is work, career, it can provide the abundance to support your family, maybe buy a home, invest, rent a better home. It is known as the happy ever after card, and I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but it has the possibility. Of course, coming back to that message, there's light and shade in every situation, and it doesn't mean it will be easy or that we won't navigate challenges, but the potential here is for something very fulfilling, stable, and secure through the portal of transition. All right, remember the Temperance says that things are healing and balancing. You are entering into your new field of dreams. There is this new beginning conspiring and threading and seeding for you. Okay, let's close out with a few oracle cards. I'm using The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. Haven't used this one ever on YouTube. I just grabbed it out of the drawer. I felt called. So let's see what your messages are, Gemini. We have got the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome, is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. Absolutely. So there's a bit of a letting go. Of course, we have to take the action, but that's very much Empress energy at play. When we surrender to the outcome, often that is when the very outcome we desire is magnetized towards us. Obstacles are detours in the right direction. Yes, you are going through some kind of divine redirection. You maybe did have a tower fall or navigate a hard ending, but look at the direction. The Four of Wands is one of the best destinations you could absolutely land at. Okay, what else do we have? We have got, I am spirit having a human experience and I'm here to get closer to love. But what does that for us sometimes is going through the challenges, is being cracked open, right? Is, you know, navigating vulnerability. So there is a real message here that yet we are passing spiritual tests and we have come here for that very reason. So that gives us the bravery to go through the hard stuff, knowing with every situation we successfully navigate, you know, we really are spiraling up, we are spiritually evolving, right? And we maybe get to come back for less lifetimes. So that is your message for July, Gemini. I do hope you enjoy this. I forgot to say at the start, if you would like a personal reading or healing, I will link you to my website below this reading and you can check out what is on offer there. You can find me on the socials, Instagram and TikTok. Please do like, share, comment, hit subscribe. Keeps the readings flowing and the channel growing. I would be super grateful. I will see you here throughout the month for plenty more readings. Do take care. Bye for now.